Hey everyone, it's CL. Sorry I haven't been posting a lot of videos the last couple of weeks, but to tell you the truth, the last couple of weeks have been very, very rough on me and my little one. We've been really stressed, and for me as a parent, I've just been beside myself, just trying to figure out what's going on. And what I mean by that is my daughter has started school and she's having a lot of problems in school right now, and it's only first grade, and I expected some sort of problems to arise in the sense that my daughter is very introverted, and a lot of people don't know how to deal with that. A lot of people don't know how to deal with introverted adults, let alone introverted children, because she's getting singled out for total opposite reasons of what kids normally get singled out for. Normally, a kid will be like really loud or not paying attention, but she's the opposite, where she's very quiet, and that's pretty much it. She's very quiet, she does her work, and that's essentially what the deal is. She's very quiet and she's very soft-spoken, and I guess we're having a lot of problems because I think as time continues to go on, it's been like about 2 weeks I want to say 2.5 weeks since she's been in school, and I think there's a disconnect with what the teacher is trying to tell me, and now that 2.5 weeks have come to pass, I think there's a disconnect with my interpretation of the situation in comparison with what the teacher is trying. Elle comes from a very quiet household. We're a family of 3 and we all are introverted, and overall our home is very quiet. There's not a lot of like loudness here. So when she goes to school, one of the things I always ask her how her day was, and if she had a bad day, I asked like, well, why was it bad? And she would always tell me, well, at first she says like that there's a lot of people and it's very loud. And I said, yeah, but that's, you know, in kindergarten it was like that too, and you got used to it with time. So I know that as far as her environment, I know that she will get used to it because she got used to kindergarten, and after a few weeks in kindergarten, she started to get used to it and be more herself, and she was able to like make a friend and everything. And what kind of sucks is that friend that she made in kindergarten that she really looked forward to seeing every day, she is now going to a different school, so she's not there. So Elle doesn't have that close friend that she made. And I told her outright that Elle is very introverted, and that it's going to take time for her to adjust to kind of get into the routine of the class, and once she feels comfortable, then she'll start to open up more. So now that a couple weeks has passed, my impression is that the teacher is continuing to say that she is behind her peers, and at first, you know, I took that information, I was like, oh, okay, let me know where she's behind and we will work on it. So somewhat recently, I was able to check her grades that are on the website, because they have a website where you can check your child's progress throughout the school year, and it's regularly updated. And I was looking out there on the website, and I see that Elle is a solid B student. I mean, definitely she's not getting 100% on everything, but she is a solid B student, and that does translate into all the work that she's bringing home. In her folders, I go through her folders and I take out the papers that are for home, that they did it in class and now you bring it home and it stays home. I checked all her grades on her papers that she's bringing home, and you know, they're like 100% A's and B's. And so that's where I'm confused, because the teacher keeps on telling me that Elle is behind, but as far as her grades on the website, as far as her grades that are coming home, she is a solid B student. And in my mind, I'm like, when is a B student considered behind her peers? So that's one of the disconnects. I'm not understanding what the teacher is trying to communicate to me. And I think the reason why she is so focused on Elle and so adamant that she is behind her peers is because she's so introverted. When I hear her say she's behind her peers, I think she means socially. She's not outgoing. She's not loud, she's very quiet. But the way she communicates it to me, making it seem like that my child is getting zeros on everything, which she's not. She's getting very high scores on all of her work, even spelling, where she was falling behind or considered behind the first week of school. And I'm just confused. So then I get a handwritten note to me letting me know that the teacher would like to send Elle for one-on-one help. And I emailed back like, well, what is this? Can you give me more information? What does this entail? And it essentially entails that whatever the kids are working on in class, Elle would be removed from class and would go see this other teacher and do it with the other teacher one-on-one. And in her email communication back as to why she thinks that she needs to do this, she said is because her gut is telling her that Elle is very shy and just needs to get used to her. That was her reasoning, that Elle is very shy and just needs to get used to her, the teacher. And then in my mind, I haven't responded back yet, but in my mind, I'm just like, well, if the problem is that Elle is shy and needs to get used to you, then why is your solution to remove her from class and put her one-on-one with someone else? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And one-on-one help, when she is a solid B student, she gets very good grades on the paperwork that she's doing in her class, and you want to pull her out of class so she can do that work away from her peers? Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand that. And in my opinion, I think that because Elle is introverted, the teacher doesn't know what to do with her. She doesn't know how to treat her, so her solution is to get rid of her for part of the day. And I guess I'm just so beside myself because, and I'm thinking, like, if she's working on math, Elle is very strong in math. She always gets 100% on her math worksheets. I know it's first grade, but as far as first grade goes, Elle is very good at her math. She always gets 100%. So say if the kids are working on math, is she going to be removed from class to work on math with this other person solo? If that's the case, I don't think that that's a very good solution, you know? If it's the case of my child is introverted and she's not outgoing enough, then removing her from class is not the solution. She should still be in class, immersed with her peers, able to get used to her surroundings. And I used to be Elle. I was a very introverted child. I know what it feels like to be singled out. I know what it feels like to have people think something's wrong with you, and to see my daughter going through that and being singled out and essentially being shoved to the side, and seeing that the teacher essentially wants to get rid of her for part of the day. That's really hard to see, because one of the things I am really worried about is that Elle will lose her love of learning. That there's so many negative factors to going to school that she will lose her love of learning. And that's why I'm trying so hard. Like, it's been very stressful the last couple of weeks. I've been doing a lot of research. If the teacher is saying that she's behind in spelling, then I am supplementing her learning at home with spelling, because I don't want the teacher to have a reason to pinpoint, like, oh, hey, she's having trouble with this. This is why I'm singling her out. If she's having trouble with spelling, then we will work on that at home, and we have been supplementing her learning with spelling. But at the same time, Elle, it's first grade. With her regular homework, she does like 2 hours of homework, and then I'm supplementing on top of that, and we've been doing like 4 hours of homework. That is too much. That is too much for a first grader to be doing. And one of my fears is that she's going to lose her love of learning. And that's why when we do supplement at home, I've been putting so much effort into like making it a game. Like, I've been coming up with these games. She's had trouble with spelling, so I created a game where she really likes stuffed animals. So I created this game where poachers have captured her stuffed animals. In order for her to save and unlock them, she essentially has to like spell the word right that is keeping them captured. So I'm turning it into a game. She thinks that's really fun, and it takes a lot of effort for me to come up with these different games, and it really does work. But I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot for a first grader, but it's not for lack of trying. We are really trying. I'm a very involved parent, and what's really hard for me is, in my opinion, and I hope that this changes as the weeks go on, is that it feels like the teacher is really trying to find something to hang on to and say like, hey, this is wrong. This is why she's behind, because of this. And right now she says it's because of her spelling and we are working on that at home. But as far as her worksheets and everything that they work on in class, she's doing really well. She's getting really high score as far as first grade is concerned, a B student. And I know people are going to say like, oh, well, you need to like talk to the teacher and really put your foot down. But there is a little bit of that fear that if I make too many waves, that I fear that she's going to retaliate against my kid. If you think about it, my kid, or your kid, if you have a child in school, they're with this person for 8 hours a day where you are not there. And I don't want to make too many waves to the point where the teacher really starts to, I don't know if lash out is the right word, but essentially I don't want her to lash out in a negative way, you know? I don't know what the right answer is. Like I said, I've never been through this before, but we'll see. Time will tell. I'm going to continue to see what she's saying. If she says like she's behind in something, then I'm going to have to see some evidence, because as far as the worksheets I'm seeing, as far as her grades that are posted on the website, I don't show that she's behind. She's doing really well. If anything, she's just quiet. She's quiet, she's introverted, and I think that the teacher is very intimidated by that. I don't know what the right answer is, but it's just been incredibly stressful going through this, having someone essentially tell you that something's wrong with your child. It's hard. It's very hard. So that's why I haven't been posting a lot of videos, but I'm hoping that next week, I'm taking it honestly day by day. I'm hoping that next week will go well. And I'm hoping that I won't get any more letters or emails saying XYZ in a negative way. I just hope that things will get better, because it's been so stressful and I'm trying to just be strong. I'm doing a lot of research. I'm trying to just understand, which essentially all my research leads back to people don't understand introverts, especially children, you know? But anyways, if you are a parent in particular with an introverted child, please let me know any advice that you can give me down below in the comments. It's just been really hard emotionally as a mom, and we'll just see how things go, I guess. So far, Elle still loves to learn. She still loves to read. But yeah, we'll keep taking it one day at a time. So thank you all for listening, and I will see you later.